When you believe in something, that's when it's time to really go for it. And in 1968, everyone else was jumping forward in the high jump. Even though that was the standard technique, I really believe there's some other way to jump over the bar. So I came up with a different style, something that would help the results improve, not just for me, but for other jumpers as well. I had to avoid the critics, and I really worked hard at it. I was convinced that this could succeed. And one day, I began to prove to everyone else that there was a better way to go over the bar.
Well, you nine, what do you think about that? Quite an amazing event and thing that he actually did, Dick Frosby. He changed the rules. He challenged what people believed were things that were real, and he challenged them and he broke them. And I'm sure last week when I asked you to write down some reasons why rules are good things and why rules are bad things, someone would have probably come up with the idea that rules are meant to be broken. And to a certain extent, that's true. Obviously not all rules, and the key thing to remember there is certain rules are there for a reason. And last week we looked at how some rules are there for your safety. Road rules, you can't really challenge those rules, because if everybody started driving on the wrong side of the road, there'd be accidents left, right and centre. But you can see from the India video there that people need to challenge the rules and challenge what was actually going on there. School rules are there for your safety and to help you, i.e. walk on the left-hand side is there, to safely mean that people can get from one lesson to the other. Uniform as well, as we looked at last week, is there for a reason, and the rules are there for your protection and to help you in the future. However, like Dick Frosby, there are some rules and ideas that must be challenged. And in fact, that's really why you're here in school, is to be able to challenge the rules that you are told and the things that you are told, because only then can people actually get better. Only then really can people learn. In lessons soon you're going to be getting your indicative grades. And the key thing there is to really challenge yourself to beat them. What is it that you have to do to maybe go beyond them, to do much better than people expect you to do, to challenge the rules that they've put in place for you? In your hobbies and life outside of school, key thing there, really challenge what people expect, and most importantly, what you expect of yourself. Then you can do great things. Making a difference in other people's lives, in citizenship. Citizenship's not just about the weekly video that I give you, but also in your ability to live as a citizen, to challenge the things in your community that you maybe think are wrong, and to challenge people's beliefs around you. That's one of the great things about being a citizen, especially a citizen in the United Kingdom, is that we have that ability to challenge those people who we put in authority. Now, people often need to, when they challenge the rules, is to start over again and to start your thinking from right the way back from a blank sheet of paper about how actually things can be improved or how different ideas are thought. But I really want you to get you thinking about a speech that a man called John F. Kennedy, who was a president of the United States, made on September the 12th, nearly today's date, in 1962, so many years ago. He said to the people of America that they would put a man on the moon. And nobody had ever even thought about how they were going to put a man on the moon. No one had actually made any kind of idea about that happened at the time. They didn't know how to do it. But that's true of many things in life, as you'll see from this. But ultimately, Year 9, what I want you to do is to really start in your life those three things. In school, in your hobbies and in your life around you, and maybe in the community that you live in. Why should you make a difference? Why should you challenge the rules? And how do you think you can do it?
The actual moonshot is wonderful, inspirational, poetic, beautiful, involved great technical challenges, genuine heroism. It brought the world together. But think about the Polynesian islander on the dugout canoe, deciding one day they were going to go that way. No one had ever been that way before. No one even knew if there was anything that way before. It was amazing, and it changed the world.
People can set their minds to magical, seemingly impossible ideas, and then through science and technology bring them to reality. And that then sets other people on fire, that other things that look impossible might be accomplishable.
Galileo is such a hero, in thinking big, and what he represents to me is both curiosity and wonder that humanity had, that pushed him and drove himself to invent and work on the first telescopes that allowed us to see the moon, and here we are.
These aviation pioneers were figuring it out as they went. No one really knew how to build an airplane, right? No one knew how to fly an airplane. It was amazing and crazy and wonderful, and they wanted to explore.
Many years ago, the great British explorer George Mallory, who was to die on Mount Everest, was asked why did he want to climb it. He said, because it is there.
There's so many challenges in the world, and you could feel daunted by that, and sort of oppressed by that, or you kind of say, how might we think differently about this?
Everyone else in the world is working on that next 10%. If you can be the one that delivers that 10 times improvement, you have a chance to really change things.
If you want cars to run at 50 miles per gallon, fine, you can retool your car a little bit. But if I tell you it has to run on a gallon of gas for 500 miles, you have to start over.
You need a lot of courage in this work, and you need a lot of persistence. One of the things that's really critical is not only have the courage to keep trying every day or thinking big, even if you don't really 100% believe it's possible, like you might think this might be possible, have the courage to try. That's how the greatest things have happened.
You don't spend your time being bothered that you can't teleport from here to Japan, because there's a part of you that thinks it's impossible. Moonshot thinking is choosing to be bothered by that.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Humanity's progress has been a series of amazing, audacious things, from the very small and personal up to the great, big, and grand. And we are a species of moonshots. And to me, that's like the really amazing, poetic, and inspirational thing.
I think our ambitions are a glass ceiling on what we can accomplish.
When you find your passion, you're unstoppable. You can make amazing things happen. It's been true through all of history.
I believe in the human spirit, and I believe that there are always going to be crazy people who will get out of bed one morning and say, you know what? I think I can build a space elevator, and let's go and do it. But I think that if we become afraid to take these great big risks, we stop inspiring people. We stop achieving things. And the biggest nightmare scenario is that we won't have what it takes to solve the really big challenges.
When Kennedy said that we would put a man on the moon, it's about the fact that he said, we don't know how to do this yet, and we're gonna do it anyway. And that sends chills up everybody's spine. Because if that happens, what couldn't we do?